What happened to your arm?
My shoulder has cartilage.
Oh, dang.
Yeah.
UFC fight, actually.
Yeah, your guys, the security guys weren't around last night. I had to take care of some business.
That's all that matters.
How would you assess this year for you?
I feel like this year was one of the years that just used to just get back on the court and just to get the love of the game again. I feel like I used it as just pretty much just like one of those things where it's like, okay, feels good to feel healthy again, and just pretty much felt great. That's it. I would say I sum it up as something that we wanted to get to the playoffs, but it didn't happen. So next season that's going to be our goal, and things that we can focus on and get better is some of those paying attention to the little details down the stretch and executing whenever we need. Because I would say we lost a lot of games by less than 5 points. I don't know the exact number, but I know we lost a lot of crucial games by less than 5. So.
50 games that you guys played in this season that was 5 points or less.
Oh, you see.
Last 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And so, like, kind of along those lines, do you think that next season that you guys are like right there, or do you think that it's going to take a lot of work? I feel like those little mistakes that we might have made down the stretch in those times are going to get corrected, just because we had a new group of a team, a new group of guys, and communication is something that's huge in this league. And I feel like the more we're able to trust each other, the more we communicate, those little mistakes down the stretch, they won't happen as much.
Where did the team evolve the most from when you came in at the start of the season until the end of the season?
I would say just pretty much just like getting to know one another. I feel like even just like me getting to know Lauri, like even I didn't even know Lauri had a family or whatever and kids, just because like in Cleveland it was a little different. Like here I feel like it's more family oriented. Just because we do a lot of family activities, everyone's like wives and team girlfriends are always like together and stuff like that. You can tell like here is like real family oriented, and I definitely like that as well.
Wait, you didn't know Lauri had a family before?
Nah, I didn't know. I didn't know much at all. So it's different, definitely different.
What's the focus for you for the off season?
Just continue to grow, continue to watch a lot of film, and just continue to get better at the little things that I need to improve on, and come back next year ready to go and be a really good playmaker, which I've shown, which I know I can do for this team. So just come back ready to go and have a big season, whether it's individual but also team, us making the playoffs.
What are your plans for the offseason? Where are you going to be like training and stuff?
I'm going to be in Atlanta, and I'm going to be here as well. And we're gonna push having guys here and having guys in Atlanta as well. So we're gonna do it right and just continue to build that communication and build that trust between one another. And that's all it is.
It feels like a lot of the guys are saying that they're going to come back here for some time during the off season. That seems not super normal.
Mm-hmm.
Is that, in your experience, is it like...
I feel like it's normal. Well, in my experiences, it's kind of normal. Just because, like, when I was in Cleveland, we tended to like lock in on certain days of just being here for a week or being here for 2 weeks. So I'm trying to bring something like that here to Utah, so that whenever we're here, it's at least 6 or 7 guys here. It may not be the whole team, but at least 7. Is a good amount, especially in the summer when everyone can be doing other things, traveling, family time, or just working out elsewhere. So I feel like I'm taking that from Cleveland to bring here.
That's kind of an interesting role. Like, you're at an age where like you've been in the league a few years, but you're still young. Like, do you view yourself more as like, the experienced veteran or one of the young guys?
I would say I feel like now year 6 for me will be like next year. So you're closer to being a vet, you know what I mean? So I feel like it's just in between, middle, like once you get to like 10, I feel like that's a vet. 8 to 10 is like, oh, okay, that's a vet. But like I feel like right now, even just being one of the like guys. I think KD maybe like year 7 or year 8, whatever, and then Lauri. Like, so it's gonna be different. So
when you watch yourself on film and you watch a lot of film, what do you see? What's the biggest gap between where you are and where you want to be?
Decision making, picking and choosing when to drive, when to attack, but also just when and the time to score, to set up my teammates and make sure that they're rolling and making sure that they're getting the correct shots. Just like watching how Mike last year, how he set up Lauri, and how he made sure Beast and made sure everyone was eating at certain times of the year. So like just pretty much like that's something that I've been watching as well, and just watching his pace. Like you couldn't speed him up, you couldn't slow him down. You know what I mean? Like he played at a simple pace, and that's something that I've been trying to control is my pace. Whenever I'm doing workouts, change the pace, change the direction, and different things like that I know will help my game for next season.
We talked to you at the beginning of the season about kind of the connection that you had working with Mike, and several of the guys have said that like, even after he got traded, he's been a guy who they felt good about reaching out to about various things. Have you stayed in contact with him? Is that in the case with you?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Definitely, we've been having conversations here and there. He's always gonna be my guy. He's always gonna be a part of the Jazz family as well. So you have to, like, sometimes when someone gets traded, it doesn't mean the relationship, the friendship just dies. It usually sometimes like brings you closer because you're not around that person. Now you have to reach out to that person and just see how their family's doing, see how they're doing a little bit more. So,
is it difficult? I mean, because we've talked about this a lot with you and Taylor and other guys on the team, trying to learn the balance between attacking but also being a playmaker for the rest of the guys. Like, how difficult is that balance?
I feel like I did really well with it once I was starting, even just early in the season when I was starting, and I feel like I started picking it up. It was just like when you have a different role in different time of the game, things are asked for different, like for you to be more aggressive or for you to, okay, now this time I got to pass. And I knew like early in the season was certain players I was more in a different role of I didn't have the ball as much. But now like when I started and stuff, so now I got to make sure everybody around me eats and just put it out there. Like I have to make sure that I might have an open shot, but I know my teammate's going to have a better one, and he may not have touched the ball the last 3-4 possessions, but I know for sure that I got to make sure, being a point guard and being the leader on the team, I have to make sure I don't let him go too many possessions while touching it.
When you're watching film, are you watching not only for like how you're playing or how to play against guys, but also like time score situations?
I'm looking at times. So when I ever do film breakdown, of course, I just watch the game all the way through. Then I go back. I usually mark up like different parts of the game that I want to rewatch and watch over maybe. And then I go back and I might watch a game, like even just like being out, I watched every game like 2 or 3 times from the entire season. From start to finish. So like when I really break down film, I really break it down and really understand like different personnels of the other teams as well as tendencies, just because I look for tendencies whenever I'm guarding as well. Just if I know that this person likes to between cross and go right back, I'm going to make sure that when the game comes, I jump on it. Yeah, so just different tendencies as well. So like it's like whenever I'm watching it, I'm watching different things. I would say sometimes I watch, I'm like, yeah, that's one game where I was messing up a lot on defense, or that was one game where I could have been better. And just watching those, that's it.
We hear from the coaches and everyone, even just you, like how much you work, watching film as much as you do. They have to kick you out of the gym. Like, why are you the way that you are? Like, why is that your parents? Is that is that just who you've always been? Like, what is it?
I would say just growing up in a competitive household and growing up in a household of just hard workers, and it just rubs off on you, and it's just something that just comes second nature. And just growing up being someone that worked hard when I was little, and knowing like if you want anything in life, you gotta work for it. And that was something that my parents instilled on me when I was younger, especially my sisters and brothers as well. It's like whatever you want in life, no one's gonna give you anything. So like whenever I'm out there on the court, I have a take it mentality of, okay, like me versus you, not like we're not friends. It's us versus you guys, and that's how I bring each and every game. Like I don't really worry about who's in front of me, because no matter, it could be someone in practice player, it could be a starter. I'm going to play each person the same. I'm going to play them hard, you know what I mean? And I'm going to give them my all no matter what. So that's just it.
You were telling us the other day about that job that you and your brother had cleaning up buildings. Like, how old were you when that was going on?
Oh, man, we was little. So just growing up, my dad, he had a cleaning service, so we used to always have to like clean buildings and clean like different fast food restaurants. And it wasn't a job that we wanted to be doing, especially at 12 a.m., 1 o'clock in the morning. We didn't want to do it, but it's something that I felt like built character. It was something that needed to happen for us, just to show like you can't take anything for granted. So whenever I'm out there playing, I don't take any possession, anything for granted, just because I know how all this, everything, media, games, everything I have can be gone within seconds. So I feel like it just built character. And growing up, I know it was maybe like, man, elementary to like almost like high school. So it was something that was consistent, and it was something that we eventually didn't complain about doing, just because we knew how important it was for things to get paid, bills to be paid, and for me and my brother to get sneakers. So we definitely look forward to it, as well as like cutting grass as well. So
like 9-10 years old, you're at like McDonald's or whatever.
Yeah, like McDonald's, it'd be like Mrs. Winters, churches, like different things like that. And I know like every Saturday was cutting somebody's grass, and that was just, it is what it is. So.
I know your parents still come to a lot of your games.
Mm-hmm.
How special is it for them to be part of this journey with you still?
It's huge. I know I wouldn't be where I am without them and without their sacrifice. I feel like they sacrificed so much for my siblings and I that it's easy for me just to wake up, go work that much harder to play something I love, just because of the sacrifice they made. And you don't realize all the sacrifices until you get older, and then you like really look back and be like, wow, like that's amazing for what, like why would you do that for us? But it just shows like when you have kids and when you have a family, like it's a different type of love no matter what, and that's just how we are.
I'm asking all your teammates, can you kind of explain to me as best you can what it's like going through the experience of Walker Kessler, the person?
Big Walk. I would say Walk is somebody that is fun to be around, someone that's always joking, always laughing, but when it's time to be serious, he's always ready. You know you can count on Walker, and with him being from Atlanta, he's someone that like I know like how he's raised, so he's just like yes sir, no sir, like type person, and he's very respectful. And at times it's like, oh, someone might fall down and he might go try to pick him up. I'm like, yo, Walk, they fall down, leave him, like let's go. So but that's just how he is. He's a really nice person, but in between those lines, when it is time for us to go to battle, you know you can count on Walk.
Will was telling me, like when he first met you, like every time that you were talking to him, it was like, yes, sir, yes, coach.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, what? and so it sounds like you're similar in that.
Yeah, definitely very similar in that way. I think being from the South is something like, it's just in us, like it's yes sir, no sir, no ma'am, like it is what it is, and how you just go about it. Like I know I can't be like yes to my parents growing up, and they would be like, what'd you say? Like, and so it's just something that like is instilled in you, like being from the South. So.
Walker has been pretty open that he wants to open up a Waffle House here.
Mm-hmm.
Would you be willing to invest with him?
Listen, absolutely. Waffle House is the best place on earth. It's my favorite fast food, favorite sit-down restaurant, favorite high-end 5-star restaurant. It is the best, and I definitely will be willing to go into business with Walker if we trying to put a Waffle House here in Salt Lake.
Did you guys clean a lot of Waffle Houses?
No, I never cleaned a Waffle House, but I know Waffle House is something that like I can't like live without.
Amen.
We might have to make it happen. I'm telling you, I love Waffle House to a T. It is my favorite for sure.